not only for her service to the Rules Committee, but also the service to this body and also her party. Mr. Speaker, the bottom line is I'll take her up on that. We will bet that this works because we looked at what happened when President Obama, Harry Reid, and Speaker Pelosi put a $1 trillion tax increase on the American people, then spent $870 billion on a surplus, then added in $1 trillion of debt when they worked the deal that was for student loans. Then we did cash for clunkers. Then we did cell phones for all, and it just went on and on and on and on. And now they want to place the $20 trillion deficit on Republicans. What we're trying to do is to recognize that we did look at what happened economically during the 8 years that President Obama was here. 1.2% annual GDP growth, while our trading partners around the world, Germany, Japan, India, China, all raised their GDP numbers off growing economies, because the average rate in Europe for corporate tax is 23.6%, while America was at 39%. And states all across the United States raised their taxation just like President Obama encouraged them to do, to grow government, to make it more expensive. But what happened is then the free enterprise system was not competitive. We began losing jobs all across the country. We began losing our competitiveness because of the high taxation rate. That's why we're going to do something about it. So when you raise taxes $1 trillion and spending an extra $10 trillion over 8 years, there is an impact. Of course there's an impact. What we're trying to do is respond back to the American people who they said last November, instead of going that way, why don't we go this way? Why don't we be the world's leader? Why be 24th in the world in competitiveness for business? Why not be first or second? Why not add jobs? Why not do something that places Americans, the middle class of this country, in a better position? That's the call that we're about. That's what Republicans have been trying to do. And we are responding with a bill that is going to take America, instead of being the most expensive tax country in the world, we're going to make us among the best. We're going to be an attractor of jobs, of investment dollars, of opportunity. The real problem with this country, Richie Neal, who is a member of Congress from Massachusetts, spoke about it to the Rules Committee. Tens of thousands of jobs that pay up to $60,000 in his home state are going begging right now. Thousands of jobs in this country are going begging because we do have a problem where America doesn't want to come and take these jobs, where we cannot have people who pass drug tests, where we have people who say, well, I don't have those abilities. Well, in Dallas, Texas, my home, we have $21 an hour jobs begging from people who could come and work. Mr. Speaker, what we're trying to do is to encourage America and Americans. Let's get to work. Let's make this happen. Let's not blame it on somebody else. There are jobs available in America, and we are going to answer the question. We're going to answer the bell. The Republican Party is going to stand on what we do right now, and we're willing to take what comes that way. And I'll tell you what comes that way. When you go from 39.6%, the highest tax, corporate tax in the world, to where you mark yourself down where virtually the rest of the world is at 23, in this case 21, we're going to be competitive. Americans are winners. Americans want to win. Americans are the best at entrepreneurism. They're the best at being innovative. we're now, instead of Uncle Sam taking 39% and making us drain our resources, we're going to incent Americans to go do it. So, Mr. Speaker, my staff, Ron Donato, my tax man, who has spent a lot of time working with me, listening to people back in Dallas, Texas, we think this is a good deal to make the free enterprise system, which is the greatest system in the world. We're going to fuel it, we're going to fund it, we're going to make it work. So, Mr. Speaker, for that reason, we will be willing to land on what happens here. So mark your calendar right now. Go look at where we are and watch where we're going. For this reason, I urge my colleagues to support this rule. I yield back the balance of my time, and I move the previous question.
Question is on ordering the previous question on the resolution. Those in